Welcome back to the journey, friends. So yes, today I'm actually getting into cutting into this joinery, and I want to try to get this side done and at least bolted together, and then I want to start working on the other side because the two ends, right, obviously the most important, and then the middle is actually going to take me the longest because I don't really have good means of getting that mortise in there other than utilizing a chisel safely, right? Obviously, if I had any of the type of mortising chainsaws or anything, which, I mean, those things are like $3,000 or more, right? So yeah, that's gonna be a while before I get one. I would love to get one. I've actually been looking for, it's one of the more traditional hand cranked, right, to where you can sit down on a plank, and it has is still a drill bit, right, a type of drill bit that can go through, but you're hand cranking it, right, and it goes through. So that still requires quite a bit of cleanup with a chisel and whatnot, but it allows you to drill the holes perfectly where you need it to go. It's all in a contraption of frame, and as you sit it down, you actually sit on it, right? And that's what you're doing, is you're providing your body weight as a clamp to put it where you need it to go, and then you're using your hands like a bicycle to actually drill that down. And I've actually found one a couple years back. Obviously I didn't have the funds at the time to get it, and whenever I did have the funds to finally go get it, it was already sold, and that one was operational. Obviously I'm trying to find one that is operational, and as of right now, the only ones that I've been able to find that are within a price range that I'm willing to pay, none of those work. So they're just wall art. So yeah, that's kind of comes right, pros and cons of all that stuff. But I'm gonna keep my eyes out, and I'm gonna keep, those, well, I don't have those funds set aside for that particularly, but I'm still keeping my eyes open for whenever I do have that, be like, hey, I want to try to get this. So yeah, continuing with this. So a portion of this is going to be chainsaw, portion of this is going to be handsaw, and then I got my good old 1-inch Stanley store-bought. Yeah, it's not perfect, but hey, it is what it is, right? Until I can, because I want to make my own set of chisels, slicks, and all those things. But before I can do that, I need to get this built. That way I can get that shop over there cleaned out and such, and be able to get back to work, right? Doing the things that I like to do. So as I'm recording this right now, just an update on the gathering house. As I'm recording this today, the house is supposed to be delivered today, but the delivery driver is all the way on the other side of Little Rock. So probably not going to happen today. If anything, it would happen tomorrow. And then, because we do have rain coming Sunday, right? So basically what the call would happen, if he's not able to get here today, then they would just bring both sections of the house tomorrow, just set them here on the property, not connect anything together, but just have them here on the property. And then after the rain, because we got quite a bit of rain coming Sunday, it's at least 1/4 inch, throughout the whole day. So that's a little bit, right? We'll see what happens, because being in between two ridge lines, 1/4 inch rain can be quite a bit. So we'll see. But with that being said, regardless, the house should be here by this weekend. And then after the rain comes and settles out, dries up for a little bit, then they'll come and connect everything together. But that's fine, because we're still working on the electric, we're still working on the plumbing, we're still working on the septic, trying to get all that stuff configured. So that way, by the time that they're done with the house, getting all that together, hopefully we can have all those other things done right around the same time. That way, as we're moving into the house, they're handing us the keys, everything's done, right? That's the goal. That's what we're working towards. So yeah, fingers crossed that we get all that done. It's a lot. I know it's a lot, and it may or may not happen before Christmas, because that's right around the corner, right? We got Christmas to New Year's and a whole lot of cold weather. So yep, I know, but we're getting there. Anyway, let's get back to working on this, because it's me just sitting here yakking. It's not going to get done. I do have a better saw for this, but it's tucked away. I don't have easy access to it, but I still wanted to use a hand saw. This one is actually Gladys's. And it needs a new blade, but it still does okay. Wants to move the whole log. It's always best to cut from both sides if you can. Kind of keeps your cut straight. I'll get this one chipped up, and then we'll flip it over and do the other side. But need to make her a couple of relief cuts first. And even though I did the edge on my line, close to my line, I might even come back. Well, I don't know, because I don't have the greatest of chisels, but that's really basically right on my line where I cut that. That's why I wanted to use this really thin kerf saw, nice and straight. And then I'll come in and put some relief cuts with the chainsaw, knock this out with a chisel. Kind of the same thing I did with this, but I didn't put the relief cut in first with the handsaw. And then we'll get this all cleaned up and do the other side. Shaka. As far as I want to go that direction. So that I did not come and clean up these faces after I did the electric planer, because I only got a 1-inch chisel and I can't get all the way across, so I wanted to wait until I had this cut out. So now all I have to worry about is this little tiny face. And then it reaches all the way across that, so now I can get it all flattened down to my reference plane. That's wanting to bite in there. I hit a knot and it wants to go down. There we go. There we go. Got a lot better. sorry I hit y'all. Which, I mean, GoPro does a pretty good job of not moving around too much if I hit the tripod. It's some juicy pine. So got a lot of moisture in this thing. All right. This one should clean up a lot easier, being pine. Let's see. And I need to get used to doing that cut with the chainsaw because I keep going down too far. Because I try to get like right onto my line, and that's probably my issue. So instead of trying to go right to the line, I probably should keep myself at least 1/8 of an inch away from it. Because once I get it established here, I'm like a 1/4 of an inch away, and then I start coming down like this, and then once I get to my line I stop, but then this side is actually too far down. So I think I need to start, coming down this way once I'm about 1/2 an inch away, and then just kind of come down straight until I'm 1/8 on either side, and I think that will turn out a lot better. This is my line right here. So kind of bring it around so you can see. I'm just barely touching that line. So still got room to work. Still got room to work. See, and this is where that long slick comes in handy, because this portion of my chisel is only like 2 inches long, 2.5 inches long, right? So it only goes, because once it gets to this part, you'll start lifting up the chisel, and then now it's no longer staying flat. So this log is actually small enough. Once I start getting over here, I'll work halfway, and then this side I will work halfway on this side. But I'm just trying to establish this front portion first, to follow my line on the sides, follow my line here in the front, and then once I know that's good, then I'll start working my way down. Probably bevel down, take out a little more of this. Bevel down so it doesn't cut into the wood, wanting to dig. Just try to cut out majority of this bulk that's still there. That cut in a little deep right there, went past my line a little bit. It's fine. Not. This chisel is not sharp enough to shave knots. I'd have to spend time on it. Like I said, I bought it. It's basically new, and I have not resharpened it. This is straight out the package. Plus, normally your paring chisel or your slick or whatever you're doing paring with, right? That's what I'm doing now. Normally you're not hitting it with a hammer because that really dulls the end of that blade really quick. And this one already has a little bit of deformity, and I can feel the burr on the back. That's also because I'm going in oak and hitting it with a hammer. So but I think this one's gonna be good. Like I said, I did go a little far with that cut. That's fine. Be good enough to flip it over, cut out the other side, and then, like I said, this bottom log, I still need to do basically the same thing on the other end, and then go ahead and knock out the middle part before I rotate it. But I just was a little impatient, so I wanted to get one of these done. Was not necessarily impatient, I was just checking to see the process of, hey, would this work out for me? And yes, it will. But now it's wanting to turn on me. Like I said, whenever I showed it on the last video, so I need to be able to pull it, have this flat face sitting on this log so I can work on the other side. Really? Yeah. And you're probably also noticing that I'm using a metal hammer on my chisel. Well, that's because my mallet broke. So this was actually my blacksmithing mallet that I'd use for hitting hot twisted steel to help straighten it out without marring it up. And normally you're not hitting anything really hard in doing that. And well, using it for woodworking, it split this was Purple Heart, is Purple Heart, but I still have enough material here that I'm probably gonna just use this material for a handle on something. Who knows, maybe like a chisel handle. Or if I'm feeling froggy and I feel like making a knife, maybe I can use it for that. But I'll hold on to the handle. Handle's still good. Yeah, it happens. And one of the things that I actually like about this too is with the log band down, because whenever I'm knocking out these notches or these relief cuts, I have it with the bevel up. Well, a lot of times when you're doing that, it causes your chisel to want to dig into the wood, especially if you're going at the same angle that your wood is, right? So with the log band at an angle, I can hold my chisel flat, and even though it's wanting to dig in, I'm able to cut out that relief and just know that I'm not going past my line, if that makes sense. Big old knot. Right close to my line, but not all the way to it. So then, as you can see on this side, right, so basically my line is right here. I'm real close, which you're in the shadow of the camera itself, right? So my line's right here, and then all the way down here is my line. So I'm still leaving a lot of material, and that's what I'm talking about with my chisel being angled. I'm going up away from my line as I'm knocking those out. That way I can come back in later like I did on the other side and just use a pairing method to get close to the line. But I still want to knock out a good majority of this bulk, especially this knot. All right. If I'm here, I'm gonna go beveled down. That way I can kind of control the cut. Get closer to my line, but not right on my line. That'd still be a lot to pare out. You can change a little bit of how deep you want that to go by going down, moving your chisel down or up, just controlling that leading edge of the point of your chisel. You want it to go down or do you want it to go up? So if I want to go deeper, you bring it up. You want it to go shallower, you bring it down, right? That only really works with the bevel down, because if you have, I mean, you can control it some with the bevel up, but it normally just wants to eat whenever you have it like this. It just wants to dig down in to all your grain. Owie. Short chisels, you end up hitting your work. Just be careful. Ooh, I am not left-handed. That just feels weird. Cool. That's it. I'm gonna be doing that, and then like I said, I'm gonna put that once I get these fitted into the slots of my beam for all three. Then I'm gonna come back through, drill a hole through my top log, through my post beam, and then we'll bolt it all together. So what had happened was, was able to grab the other drill. So yes, the drill just like that I got, burned it up. So this is the second one. I was able to come over here and get this done. So you see down here, I still got quite a bit of cleanup to do, but that drill was only able to go, oh, maybe halfway, and then I would have to use the twisting wrench to finish it up. And then once it broke through all the way, I basically just knocked the drill bit all the way through. And then, but I did 8 holes. So 4 on the back side, 4 on the front side. And then now I need to clean it up. And then I was able to, obviously with the saw, you know, get this side for the most part, but I still got a little bit of cleanup to do here. Obviously that's done. And then I was able to, with the chainsaw, also cut out this side. Okay, but now I'm at that point that I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this log. That way all of my mortises are sitting on a horizontal. Actually not even quite horizontal, they'll be more slanted down like I said. And I'm gonna set that angle of what these need to be by moving that log and putting it into. But I'm gonna turn this first, clean out that mortise on that side, get that log to go in, I'm gonna drill the hole through there because Dad went ahead and found me some of the bolts needed to go through there. So let's go ahead and get this log turned off onto its side. Let's get this post mounted in, and because I need to flip it 180, and then we'll get it put in there. Let me go around the other way. Don't spill the coffee. All right. Now, from here, I'll be able to clean that up with a chisel, and then I'll get all four or all three of these cleaned up, and then we'll come back over here with this. This actually needs to be rotated over, like I said. Because now this is my top. Facing down is my front. Because the whole wall from where basically where it sits, pretty close to where it is sitting right now. The reason why I put the horses out this far is basically as soon as this is done, I can almost just stand it straight up right from where it sits. And that's where we're planning on putting the front of the building. It might need to move a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. This was an ugly. Some of those holes tapered some, which is fine. Lego my ego. I think I'm going to rotate this all the way around. Whew. Just to make it easier on me. Mucho bettero on the back-o. But I'm already a lot further into today than I thought I would be, so that's good. Turn it back over so I can. I haven't cleaned up this face yet. Keep hearing a lot of mockingbirds in the background. It's funny because every time I hear it, there's actually a channel I watch here on YouTube that has the mockingbird as their like a part of their channel name, woodworking channel, and Well, he does timber framing and a bunch of stuff. But anyway, blacksmithing. But he actually has that at the beginning of like the intro, right? Is the sound of the mockingbird. So I keep hearing it. I'm like, huh. I like it. I like it. I love it. All right. Wherever you need to put that. You gotta come around the other side if you can. A little bit.
Oh, it's too thick. It's too thick. They don't fit in.
All right.
They need to be a little bit more.
It's easier to clean this up than it is
Yeah.
pine, oak.
Okay.
See, this is where I need to get, because this isn't that long. It's small. To be able to get the bigger chisel, or make one to help with doing this stuff. Pay for a $200 or $300 chisel, or make one. Gotta get back into the shop. So make it.
Yeah, a bit headed with the. You have a hammer?
Yeah, behind you on the sawhorse. Time to break out the BBM. That's the big bad mallet. Not gonna go nowhere because of that. It's sitting right up against the edge. I have to move your shake so we can scoot it.
Yep.
So this side, let me show you. So it's pretty much touching on one side, but not the other. So yeah, it'll be all right though. I think once it all gets settled in, see, got a gap on that side, and then this, where is it at? There, pretty close to touching there. So yeah. But that gets that one done. Now I got to get the other two logs basically sitting up on top. That way I can work the ends like I did this one. And then we'll get those put in and then get it all bolted together, and this wall will be ready to stand up. That's, of course, we still got to dig the holes first. There we go. That log is in, kind of the same as the other side, right? There's still just little minor gaps. That's fine. So I already know, because I mean, all of this, every single bit of this is green wood, right? And I already know that there's going to end up being gaps. That's fine. If I need to come back in here later after everything stood up and like shim it with stuff or anything like that, I already know it's not going to go anywhere. But in the end, right, even though Dad and I is going to be using this as a new shop, it is going to be a temporary shop, because we do plan on turning this into lumber storage later, right? So for that, I mean, it's already going to be built above and beyond for a lumber storage shed. And then once we're able to get, you know, some actually milled lumber and beams and all that for making the other permanent shops, then, well, Dad's actually going to have a garage up in the front, right? That's going to be his go-to, right, of stuff. So that the things here is going to be more just woodworking, blacksmithing, sawmill, right? That's what's going on in this area. And then for an actual automotive type thing, we probably will have something up close to where we're at now, but there's going to be a barn, right? So once the barn is finished, and that barn will also have, you know, a portion of it will be concrete floor, and being able to work on, you know, tractors, work on the vehicles, work on stuff. So that's what's going to be going in one of the bays of the barn. And then, like I said, Dad will also have his own little garage that he can work out of as well at some point in time, right? Right now we're focusing on houses. Yes, I'm doing this, but this is all stuff that we've already had on hand. This is not costing me anything other than time, right? Time. And, you know, the occasional gas for the generator or whatnot. Yeah, that's it. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm doing this, is so we can start focusing on moving some of that stuff up there, getting it out of the way of the house being an eyesore. Well, to me and Dad, it's not an eyesore, but to some of the other folks, I guess it is. So we're gonna get it cleaned up. So I actually had to take a quick break. Sun's already basically setting. Can't even see it anymore, but I got bolts put in, found a fender washer. So I'm actually gonna need to make a spacer, basically that far for that one. And then this one, and I think I'm just gonna utilize like a chunk of this oak, basically, that I took out of the ends. And then this one, not bad, but I'll go ahead and use a square out of that as well. But then this one, it actually bolted down just fine, and that's already tightened down, good to go. So I'm going to start working with my wind braces tomorrow, getting those put in. And then I guess Dad's been over here clearing more stuff, just getting ready for the back portion, because pretty close to where these legs are sitting now is where we're going to dig. And then, well, it'll probably be about 2 feet. So because we were kind of going off of this tree here, but I think if we kind of come into maybe here, and just because we're trying to stay, you know, even with the pond, so it's going to go this way, right? But I don't necessarily want to block, because I still want to have access for that road. So we might even need to come this way a little bit. So I think if I put my first hole right here, I mean, it's still quite a bit. We're going to have to move that thing. But I think obviously using the the tripod to lift the whole thing up, set it onto the ground. Once it's on the ground, I think we'll be fine to move stuff around even as needed. There's plenty of trees around us, right? All anchor points that I can grab to come along or whatever we need to be able to help move this thing around. So yeah, we'll get it in place maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We got rain coming. So I might even just end this video here because it's already getting kind of long as it is. And yep, I know I've been doing hour-long videos roughly. I think depending on what I'm working on, not all of our videos are going to be an hour long, but I think I might just go ahead and end this one here, especially with the weather coming as it is. I know I'm not going to be able to get a chance to work on this, and I want to show you guys the progress, right? I don't want you to have to wait to see where we're at. So here's part 4. All the legs are in so basically the front wall is basically done, with the exception of the wind braces, which are sitting here. And I won't leave them sitting in the ash, especially with the rain coming. I'll get them up and off the ground. And then, yeah, I guess once it dries out, I'll come back out here next week and try to get this thing up and off. The sawhorse is actually standing up vertical. So with that being said, I know we plan on leaving property for the holidays. We're going up to Mom and Grandma's house. This is going to be their last Christmas at that house. So we want to go ahead and go up there for that. And then, I mean, we have folks, you know, watching the property and stuff, so not too worried about that. But, yeah, all right. That's what we got. So if you'd like to stick around a little bit further, go ahead and check out this video right here. If you want to stick around even a little bit further, you got the whole year's playlist over on this side. Icons at the top. Make it easy to subscribe both here and to our side channel. Go check it out. It's greatly appreciated. We're almost getting to 1K over there. And then last but not least, always get out there, thank a veteran every chance you get, not only on Veterans Day, and we'll see you on the next one. Later, y'all.